the fact that the walls and ceiling are secured with rivet nuts is really nice because we can pull it down and put it back up with ease. It's easy to kind of unscrew everything, takes only a couple of minutes. But it's also kind of a pain because then we're constantly pulling it down and putting it back up and pulling it down and putting it back up again. Normally when you do something like this, you screw it in and then you're done kind of thing. Today, our plan is to pull it down again. We have a very busy day planned for today. We are going to drop all this, like I said, try to paint it, sand it, get it done, touch it up real nice. We got to make a couple of little cuts. There's a couple spots where it doesn't fit perfectly, so minor adjustments like that. Then we are going to add our insulation in between all of the supports up here, and then we're going to add our upholstery as well. We're going to do a white upholstery around the skylights up here. We're going to do a green upholstery, which I'm pretty excited about, down below. And then after that, we should be ready to get these things screwed back on, and then hopefully not have to touch them ever again, but we'll see how that goes. How long do you think it's going to take for us to get it out?
I vote 7 minutes.
7 minutes? What do you say, Jenna?
30.
You think 30 minutes?
I don't know.
Lord, push for 7.
Okay, start it.
Just over 12 minutes to get everything out, except for this one piece. I unscrewed everything except for this one rivet nut. I think I might have messed it up because it's not coming out, so that could take me a little while, but once we get that fixed, it's not too bad, you know? Under 15 minutes, pull the whole thing out, put it back in. I can live with that. Insulation's good. Got a couple more spots I gotta finish up, just little pieces that I'm gonna kind of stuff in, kind of close everything up. But first, we need to start upholstering.
I think considering this is our first time upholstering anything, and we worked with a heavy-duty vinyl, I think it went pretty well.
There's one way to find out how it looks. Just get it all back in. How long do you think it's gonna take us to put it all back?
15 minutes?
It's 12 minutes to get it out.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be longer to get it back in though. It always is a little bit harder. Okay, so it ended up being a 2-day project to get everything painted, touched up, and then put back in. Always takes a little bit longer. Upholstering, like Shannon said, is not our strong suit, but we did the best that we could with it, and you know, we could always change it up later. We are going to put some trim all along the edges. I think that came in the mail today, or it's going to be coming in the mail tomorrow. And at this point, I'm about ready to move on. You know, this is going to be here. We'll touch it up as we go. We are going to do LED light strips all along the edges as well. But we'll get to that in due time. Next step is putting down the floor. These were actually my sister and Morgan's. They redid their floors a couple of years ago, and they had a bunch of these left over in New Hampshire, so I just loaded in a couple of boxes and took it down. I think it's gonna look pretty nice. It's like a lighter wood finish. So last time I did my floor in my NV200, I just used like a vinyl sheet. It was definitely a little bit easier. This is like next level, next step up here, so I think it will be a little bit of a learning experience.
I was gonna say cutting a rug, but that doesn't really work in this case. This is a very satisfying project. It's nighttime and we're incredibly tired, but I'm still so excited to get this done.
We didn't have enough planks of the engineered hardwood here. The 2 boxes was not enough, we needed 3, so we ended up having to drive like an hour to the nearest Home Depot that actually had it in stock. So it took a little bit longer than expected. We're still not 100% done, we should finish it though. First thing in the morning. Feels good though. I'm definitely liking how it's turning out, and
oh, it's beautiful! It is
We don't even need to build anything. We just put a little mattress here and then we could just lay on the floor.
That would be easy, right?
Yeah.
Don't tempt me.
Never mind, I take it back.
Floor's done, fully installed, feels good to have it all set. Now we're gonna move on to lighting and electrical stuff in here. So our plan is to actually run LED light strips all along the edges of the ceiling. Originally we were thinking maybe doing like the drop-in puck lights, but we decided to go with the LED lights, kind of similar actually to what I had in my NV200 with the channels just running all along the edges. So we're gonna get started on that. We're gonna wire it into the house battery. And actually, speaking of electrical, I know a lot of folks have asked what we're gonna do for power. Our plans are, I guess, a little bit complicated. We are going to use the existing system that is already in the camper for most of our power. So this battery here, I just bought this as like a little test unit. It's a 35 amp hour AGM battery. I'm probably gonna take this guy and put it in the Element camper and make it like the core of the power system in there. But the goal here is to replace this with basically the biggest battery that we can fit in here, and I actually measured it out this morning. So probably a 150 amp hour AGM battery. It charges off the alternator while we're driving the vehicle, and we're gonna use this basically for our lighting, for the vent fan, you know, the fan for the heater that we're gonna put in there, things like that, the constants in the van, right? And then we're gonna have a couple of 12-volt outlets. We will not run an inverter though. So in addition to this power system that's already built in, we're also going to run a solar system. The solar system is also going to be a little complicated though, because I really don't want to stick solar panels on the roof of this van. For one, I don't want to drill holes into the 25-year-old fiberglass. Like, we don't really have any leaks that we know of right now. I'm afraid that if we start poking a bunch of holes in there, it's gonna cause some problems. Also, the bubbly top, like the shape of the top looks really nice, and I can't really think of a way to fit rigid solar panels up there without it looking completely ridiculous. Like, they'd be hanging over all the edges, and then in addition to that, there's like basically no space up there when you factor in the skylights that are built in and then the vent fan in the back. Like, there's really only like that little front section that we could actually use to put permanent solar panels anyways. I don't really think it would look great. I think that we can figure out a better solution. So our goal is to drill one hole in the side, actually, on the other side, but where these little storage compartments are, it would be protected already. It'd be out of the rain. We could seal it up. Probably wouldn't have any leak issues. It would be coming in from the side. And then we're going to use a flexible, like portable solar panel on the roof. So we're gonna probably stick a couple of hooks with some 3M VHB tape and just let a solar panel drape down during the day. We can fold it up, stow it away at night, and then put it out again in the morning. And that is going to go directly to a solar generator, which will have a built-in inverter, and we'll be able to use it to charge our laptops and like run appliances, the Instant Pot, things like that. Very similar to what I was doing in the NV200. It's been a couple of days at this point. We had a very rainy day yesterday, so couldn't really get too much done, and we actually ran to IKEA. We picked up a sink and then this little tray thing for the sink, a few other random things from IKEA. That's pretty much all we've done in the last couple of days. We ran obviously all these lights here, but we ran out of channel for the LED lights, so we're waiting for more in the mail. It was just kind of a blunder on our part. We didn't have quite enough to be able to make this final stretch across and then all on the other way. We're working on window covers right now. Shannon's sister's doing it, Tyler. She's amazing with the sewing machine. She's doing an awesome job for the skylights. We removed these old ratty ones here. They were getting kind of gross. 25-plus-year-old fabric, you know. It was time to try something different. It's kind of becoming like a lot of little projects at this point, you know. Originally it was a couple big things. It was the ceiling, it was the floor, it was obviously tearing out the old interior and everything, but now it's just, you know, little tiny things that you kind of start to amass, and there's a lot more little things than there were big things.
I thought about the pattern this time really hard. Oh, like a glove. Yes.
Wow, look how much darker it gets.
And hopefully cooler since it's Florida. So dark. You like it?
This is awesome.
Cool.
So we do have a number of smaller projects that we want to tackle today, but I'd say the biggest small project isn't really a small project at all. I want to lay the aluminum C-channel for all of our cabinetry and for the bed setup, and I mean that's essentially like laying the entire foundation for everything that is going to be built inside this van. And for those of you that don't know, I do like to use a C-channel method. I learned this from Lex as well. Everything that I build in here, all of the cabinetry, the furniture, everything is going to be built out of 1/2-inch plywood using the cross-dowel construction method. So that means that at certain points the plywood is going to come into contact with the floor, and what I like to do is run aluminum C-channel, essentially acting as a bracket to connect it securely to the floor. This method is also extremely useful for keeping everything lined up while you are building the cabinetry. I mean, building from the ground up really kind of allows you to make sure that everything is nice and square. I'm going to be doing drawers, particularly in the kitchen area, and I want to make sure that everything is, you know, is in line and works out. So what I'm going to do is take some masking tape, use the tape measure here, and just measure everything out. Might not look like much now, but this aluminum C-channel here is the foundation for the kitchen area. I have not done the bed yet. I think I'm going to start with just the kitchen and then kind of work my way back and take it piece by piece here. So it's all screwed in, everything is ready to go. Now it's just a matter of cutting up a bunch of plywood. We're going to do a couple of fun things with this kitchen setup, including having the oven in here, which we had in here earlier as we were trying to get everything measured out and everything. It's pretty exciting. It's nice just to have this in, you know, like I said, it's not really much, doesn't really look like anything crazy, but everything is square, everything is all measured out, and now it's just a matter of building up. That's all going to be part of the next few videos though, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all in the next one.